mourning process for my father, who died when I was 10. And that really inspired me to, on a personal level, to understand the profundity of the grief and mourning process and how psychic change can come about through that. So that fed into my interest in what we call the internal world, and it relates to British and American object relation theory, but it's really about how we carry an internal world within us and how we carry our early parents and our early relationships with us, how they affect us in the present, and how personality change and changing one's lives involves changing that internal world. And the grieving and mourning process is a big part of that, dealing with loss, letting go of the old, opening to the new. So through my own personal experience of mourning, I saw how deeply important all the feeling states were that lead up to grief and mourning, including anger, rage, and ultimately love through the loss and grief, and renewing love through letting go and renewing one's capacity to love and to create. So, because love and creativity open up with the same kind of energy from the mourning process. So it was a combination of the academic interest and being told that I listen really well, and then my interest in dance therapy as a dancer, along with my getting my doctorate in psychology, and then finding how through the mourning process I integrated my intellect, because I could be overly intellectualized since I'd been in school my whole life, integrating that with the sense of my feeling states through movement that I had as a dancer. Through the mourning process, I was able to integrate to really get to the emotional core of things. So it wasn't too much in my head or body, but rather combining it through the emotion. So that showed me a whole way forward, how one moves forward in one's psychic development and therefore in one's life.
So some of the experiences that you've had in academia, along with the opportunities to express your own personal experiences, I think makes you profoundly unique, because you have the opportunity to really relate to your patients, not only, of course, through the academic background, but when they are telling you their problems and frustrations and issues, you can tap into some of the things you've dealt with in your own life and really relate to your patients.
Oh, well, once I got my PhD, which I did when I was just turning 24, and I had done a dissertation that actually, an experimental one that involved dance therapy. But I was a writer, so I was always using both the verbal and nonverbal, which fed into my clinical work. And